Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly, and well, I'm a creature of habit, so as usual, of course, head coach Scott Langer, Jay Klein Connect here with you. And coach, a 4-3 overtime win on Friday night, thanks in large part to a big night and weekend, really, of Riley Murphy's, a hat trick that included the game winner in overtime. The fifth overtime game of the year, the first overtime win, however, for the Wings, something that has been a source of a little bit of frustration for you guys, but there looked to be a lot of improvement in the 3-on-3 play on Friday night. What did you think of the game overall and, of course, the overtime period?
Well, I thought the way we reacted to the late goal, obviously they got a power play late and they were able to pull their goalie and scored 6-on-4. And sometimes when that happens, your bench gets deflated. And it was actually the opposite for our guys. Our guys were really up and motivated in that overtime, and we outchanged them. We made some real good plays and carried the pace. And obviously Riley ended up winning the hockey game on a pretty good shot. So, it wasn't much improved. We were more so on our toes than our heels, and we've been kind of playing on our heels in the overtime periods. And obviously Austin got the better of us in there, but it was a great start to a good weekend.
It really was. Of course, then moving on to Saturday night, and things really seemed to be clicking for the Wings. I mean, whether it's shots on goal, hits, whatever, it seemed like every category was, that scale was tipped to the Aberdeen direction. You win that game 4-0. Henry Welch with the shutout, of course. Scoring was pretty spread out. And ironically, specialty teams, which is something we talked about pregame, really seemed to be a key with the power play going 2 of 8 and the kill allowing just 1 goal on 8 chances over the course of the weekend, of course. Saturday night, pretty strong performance.
Yeah, well, by far the best to date. Our guys really seem to kind of figure some things out that have been hindering our performance. And I thought that the addition of Houston Cartman in our lineup allowed guys to kind of fall into little different roles that they're used to playing. I thought the energy level was outstanding. I mean, the amount of pucks we were able to turn over, and create offense off those turnovers, off our reload and our track. That was the big difference in that hockey game. Yeah. So, it always helps when your goalie stops a couple breakaways in inopportune times like Henry did, and it was great to see him get that shutout.
Yeah, big, strong win, overall team win there on Saturday night. We talked about it pregame, Coach, on Saturday night about the few power play chances that you had, and then you get a couple on Saturday night, and then obviously take advantage of them as well. And you talked about creating opportunities to be on the power play. And I talked with Coach Hill a little about that after we spoke, but how can you do that?
Well, it's hard work. It's you have to have the puck. Most of the time that you're going to get a call is when you have the puck and you're doing something good with it. And the opposition has to do something to stop you. So, the difference in that second game is we had the puck more, and we haven't had the puck a whole lot. And we, quite honestly with you, we haven't done a whole lot with it. Obviously we're in games. We're playing with teams, but in order to create and to get up on the power play, you have to have the puck and you have to be bringing it to the net, and you got to be hungry with it. And I think once you start doing that, the other team's going to have to defend. And when you force teams to defend at this level, they take penalties.
Okay. Too early in the season really to talk about turning a corner or anything like that, but it sure feels good to win. And I heard that statement many times over the weekend, actually. Combined with that, what you've said about teams being built on the road, how much does a road sweep like this kind of galvanize a team this early in the season?
Well, I think it's big. I mean, to go into Cloquet and to take 4 points off the team that was sitting in first place when you entered their building, I think from a confidence standpoint, and the way our guys played. Our guys seen that when they play the right way, the results are what we want them to be. And I thought that was the big thing coming out of the weekend is our guys had a sense of accomplishment because they were doing things the way we've been working on. We talked about the 2 weeks of practice that we had, which is not normal in a North American League season, and we took advantage of it. So, but you got guys knocking at your door. Once you throw one out the back door, you got more knocking, and you know that the Wilderness are going to be fully prepared this weekend, and we're going to have to be good on home ice.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we'll talk about that coming up here in just a bit. I wanted to ask, and I got to thinking about this actually watching some baseball and football over the course of the last week about coaching, and whether it be collegiate or football or baseball or whatever. What would you say is the number one most important job of a head coach? I mean, you have so many things that you're responsible for, whether it be game planning or recruiting or whatever. But if there was one thing that you really felt like was the most important piece, what would it be?
Belief. I think it's so important to have your guys believe in what you're about as a team and what your identity is. And you know, people use the term buy-in, and it's a real thing. When you have everybody rowing the same way, success will take care of itself. You know, when you have guys rowing the wrong way and some going the right way, you're going to be stuck right where you are. And I think as a coach, it's to get them to believe and to show them why they should believe in it, and to make them understand it's a process. And when you're doing things the right way and you're believing in what everybody believes in the locker room, good things are going to happen, and you're going to find yourself in good situations at the end.
Kind of a trickle-down effect. Starts at the top and everybody else buys in from there. All right, well, Bismarck is sitting at the top of the division right now with 17 points and a win streak and 10 games played. Minot in second with 16 points and 10 games played. Wilderness with 15 points and 13 games played. Then the Wings with 12 points and 10 games played. Austin with 12 points, 12 games played, followed by St. Cloud with 8 points and 11 games played. Coach, you talked about it. Wilderness come to town this weekend. Wings have back-to-back-to-back weekends with the Wilderness, but previously it was with Austin, where it was home and away. It creates some different challenges for sure. Not a whole lot of secrets, I would imagine. And the Wilderness are a very skilled team. What do you expect from them? As you said, they're going to be coming in for some redemption, I would imagine. But what do you expect from them this weekend, and what do you see as some keys?
Yeah, I think you're going to get their best game coming in here. There's no way they expected to be swept, by one of the bottom teams in the league, obviously at that time going in. And I think that John's going to have them prepared. And a lot of teams get up to play in our building. They don't like our fan base. They don't like it at all. And they want to do well here. So we're going to have to play well. I think if we play the way we played on Saturday and everybody's going the right way and doing the right things, we can have success against the Wilderness. They're a good hockey team. They're a much improved hockey team from last year. Their skill level, their ability to skate. I thought their goaltending's good. They're going to be a team to win some games this year. So I think the keys are not going to change for us. Obviously, I'm sure he'll make some changes. We'll make some changes, and then once the game gets going, we'll both have to shift gears and see how it comes. But again, it's going to be the team that's ready to play. And our guys should have nothing but excitement. We've basically been living on the road. We really haven't. We've played one homestand since the beginning of the year. We've been on the road a long time. So to come home to our people, our fans, our building, our guys should have nothing but energy.
Looking forward to it, that's for sure. All right, well, Coach, I won't take any more of your time here. I appreciate you coming on the show, of course, and sharing your thoughts about the weekend and what's coming up. We've got a player that's going to be joining us here in just a little bit, but once again, thanks for taking some time.
Thanks, Jay.
We'll be back with the second portion of Wings Weekly coming up after this. Welcome back to another edition of Wings Weekly, or not another edition, the second portion of Wings Weekly, my apologies. Joining me, as I promised you folks, a player that everybody knows, and a special week for this young man too, Riley Murphy of Rockford, Michigan. How you doing, Riley?
Not too bad, you?
Not bad. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Saturday night, your 200th career NAHL game, and of course all of them as an Aberdeen Wing.
Yep.
How's that feel?
It's kind of crazy. I didn't really realize it was happening last week when we were supposed to play Minot, and we didn't play Minot. We were at home the whole weekend. I was sitting there and I was looking, and I was looking up on seeing how other teams are doing, Bismarck and all them, and then I started looking at games played, and I was like, how many do I have? I was like, oh geez, like I was supposed to hit 200 this weekend. I don't know. Thinking about it, like I think about 200. That's a pretty big number, and then it was like yesterday that I was suiting up for my first game.
Well, time flies, that's for
Yep.
sure. Well, you got on the bus, and you on, I think it was Saturday night, or maybe it was actually Friday night. When no, it had to have been Saturday night. That all the vets, all the guys from last year were giving you a hard time about the 200th game, huh?
Yeah. It was like after the game Saturday that we were in the locker room. I just looked at my phone and all the guys from last year, our group chat from last year, were talking quite a bit, and I was already like, they're already giving me crap.
Well, now you could be the old guy and take
Yeah.
Bilal's spot as
Yeah.
the grandpa. But
Honestly.
obviously, the weekend was special. The 200th game on Saturday night, but you picked up a bunch of points, a hat trick on Friday night with the overtime game winner in your 199th game. What an amazing way to cap off that 199th game, or whatever you want to call it. But first of all, the win has got to feel great, but certainly to win it that way too. What was going right for you on Friday?
Honestly, like, if I'm gonna be honest, like the first 2 periods, like my line was really good off the start. Like Cade and Augie were really good off the start, and then like the first like period and a half, 2 periods, I just couldn't catch a bounce. I felt like I just couldn't catch a bounce. Like
Yeah.
I was like a step behind. And then Langer, he came in and talked after the second, and I went out like away from all the guys. And I literally just like sat there and thought. And I was like, all right, like I got to do something. Like I got to do something here, because I think we were down 1-0 at the time or something like that. And then in the third period, the first goal was all Nielsen. It was a really good dump by Augie, and then Nielsen got in on the forecheck and literally just put it on my tape back door. So I mean that goal's all him. The second one I think it was Pearson stepped up on the blue line, hit someone, and just like kicked it to me. I had a rush, but I wasn't gonna make it there. I wasn't gonna make it to the net, so I just pulled up and shot. And Augie said it didn't actually even go in, but I don't know. I didn't see anything, but I'll take it.
I think it went in.
Yeah.
And then the OT, all you.
OT, yeah. So we've played a lot of OT this year.
Mhm.
We've done a lot of OT practice. So I don't know. We started the shift. I think Cartman had like a mini breakaway kind of with a guy right on him, and then I think I ended up getting it. And I brought it out of the zone because we didn't have anything, and Powell dropped it back to me, and I didn't have a way to the net. So I went in and curled, pulled up, and the goalie was just like, he was just out of position. Like he was like, I came in on the left side, and he was way on the right side of the net. Like the whole short side of the net was open. So I was like, and I'm kind of far out, but like I just shot it and went in. So I'm happy at this. It was my first hat trick ever,
Yeah.
I think, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome. And for it to be a game winner, and in a weekend that had a lot of monuments for you. And of course, I don't know if you know this or not yet, but I'm telling all of you that you have been named the Central Division Player of the Week.
I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
Yeah.
And you get a hat trick and an assist on Saturday night, and a game winner in OT. That's going to happen. You're going to get some people noticing for sure. And Saturday night, you had a shorthanded chance, a breakaway that was whistled dead. What was your thought there?
I don't even know. I haven't thought about that much. In the moment, I was mad. I was pretty mad. But I still don't know why they blew it dead. I don't know.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah. I didn't even know what happened. Honestly, I didn't ask about it. If I went up to the ref, I probably would have said something I shouldn't have.
Well, see, that's why he's a veteran. Cooler heads prevail. Anyway. All right. Well, your 4th year here in Aberdeen. I mean, it's not like I'm going to ask you questions like, so what do you think of Aberdeen? And, how are you used to the weather and all that kind of stuff like I do a lot of the new faces. But you've been here. You've seen guys come and go, and, you've been here. In a sense, that kind of, obviously makes you a leader, but it makes you a leader in another way, too. Not just with the the letter on your sweater, but the sense that the ins and outs of this town. You know where to get the best, whatever. Burger or whatever, So did the guys come to you and ask you questions like that, especially when they're real new here?
Yeah, they still do every now and then. Like, there's some stuff like not everyone knows about, like the little restaurants that some people don't know about. It was actually it was the other day. So last year, me, Pearson, Powell, Closer, we'd all go to Scotty's. Everyone's got to know Scotty's, right? Like, it's just,
An institution in Aberdeen. Yeah.
Yes. So we all went to Scotty's, and none of the guys had gone this year. And one day I looked at Pearson. I was like, "Hey, Pearson, like we gotta go to Scotty's." And a bunch of the guys were like, "What's that? What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, you gotta go." So we brought a bunch of the guys to Scotty's. They were eating. They were like halfway through our meal, and they look up and they're like, "Murph, why have you never brought us here before?" I was like, "I don't know, man." So no, there's still like little stuff that they ask about. And they still ask some questions, but yeah,
Right on.
definitely got some.
Well, I would imagine, and I know, there's been guys that have guys like Dalton Weigel, and Sokoli and so on that Sladek too. I remember him talking with him after the season was over, saying how Aberdeen's always going to be like a second home to them.
Yeah.
You even graduated from Aberdeen Central.
Yeah,
I mean, so you're really connected to this town.
I did 2 years of high school at Central, junior and senior year. They're great.
Yeah. So, like I say, you're definitely an honorary Aberdonian. Even though maybe you don't want to claim that, but we're giving you that title anyway. All right. Well, hey, Wilderness. Last week, of course, on the road. It's been a lot of road games, as Coach Langer and I were just talking about. But they come to this building Friday and Saturday. It's going to have to, I would imagine, give a little bit of energy and a little excitement into this locker room to know that they're going to get to play in front of their crowd. Yeah. And are you looking forward to Friday and Saturday night here in the Odie?
Oh yeah, it's always exciting playing at the Odie, especially what have we had, like 3 away weekends in a row, something like that.
Yep. One of which we didn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So okay, 2, but still we haven't played a game in the Odie in 3 weeks. I mean, just practice, but no, I think the guys are excited. We got some new faces. I know we got Cartman, who hasn't played here. I don't think Phil's played here yet. We had a couple new guys that have just come in, and they haven't experienced the Odie yet. So I mean, I know they've heard some whispers in the locker room about it. So they're going to be excited. But yeah, it's always fun playing in the Odie.
Well, Coach Langer was just saying too that there's a lot of times people don't like playing here when they're when they come because the crowd is so vocal. Let's say they get into it. They love their Aberdeen Wings, and they're pretty loud and proud. And that can be a tough environment to play in. Then I've heard it on the other side of that, where teams like to come into a building that's full of energy because it kind of gives you a little bit of an edge. And I know you've said that before about playing in places like Bismarck or whatever, because it is kind of like you against them, so to speak.
Yeah.
What do you expect from the Wilderness? You think they're gonna throw any wrinkles at you guys?
I mean they always will. I mean, they're a good team. I mean, the 4 years I've been here, they've always been a high skill, like fast paced team. So I know they're gonna play to their strengths. I mean, I think advantage us. They're a fast team. They're used to the big ice that they have, and coming back on our home ice, I think that's a plus for us. But I mean, we just swept them. It's hard to beat a team 2 times alone. 3 and 4 times, that's pretty tough.
It is tough,
especially in this league. So
yeah, no matter what the sport, even you hear that oftentimes in football. Like somebody will, when it gets to the playoffs and it's the 3rd time they've played them, or they may have beat them twice in the regular season, and they're going, it's not always that easy, even though you beat them twice. They know you in and out too. All right, talk to me a little bit about Michigan and about your family. I know they were big supporters of your career, and I've met them on many occasions. When they come to the showcase and things like that. But you think it'd be possible to be where you're at right now without that kind of support?
No chance. I mean, I didn't play growing up. Like you could play when you got to the high school age. You could play high school, or you could play AAA, which is travel. I mean, high school, you take bus to the games. When I played AAA, and my parents were driving all over the country. I wouldn't get to practice. I wouldn't have gotten fed to have energy to play. I wouldn't have gotten to games. I wouldn't have anything if I didn't have my parents that have sacrificed all the stuff that they've sacrificed for me to play hockey.
For sure. And in South Dakota, there aren't school buses that that take players to games and stuff like that because it is club hockey. It's not high school. So I know what you're talking about. The parents of hockey players in this area too. They're responsible for making sure players get back and forth to the rink at the young age, or and to games and so on. So there is a lot of family community kind of involvement. And speaking of community involvement, that's one of the things too, that over the course of the 4 years that you've been here, the Wings have always been kind of proud to be a part of this community. And they go out and do things at the Y, for example, or with the Aspire and so on. Jonathan Bendorf was great about leading that. But spending the amount of time that you have spent here, I would imagine even that has a little bit more of a special meaning to you.
Yeah, I mean, as a 4-year guy, when I get out in the community and I do stuff like that, like, I mean, people know me just from being here, just from the time I've spent here. So like going out in the community, it's your first couple times, like my first year, I was like, all right, like it's whatever. Like they all want to talk to Joey Strada, blah, blah, blah. Like they want to talk to Joe, and I mean now it's nice. Like people know me a little more just from the time I've spent here. Like when I go out in the community and do that type of stuff, like guys want to talk to me, guys want to do this, guys want to do that, like. It's exciting now. It's fun. Like it's crazy going out and people know you. And, like they know your name, but
rock star.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All right. Well, Murph, I won't keep you much longer here, and I'm sure probably at some point we'll catch up again, on this show or whatever, maybe later on in the season. But I wanted to congratulate you on your 200th game, on the hat trick, and of course on the Central Division Star of the Week. And now that I think of it, most people watching will probably already know that because they usually announce it in the afternoon. But well, just a great weekend, and it's been great. Even the showcase and all these games, it just looks like your style, not your style of play, but your game as a whole is really coming around, and it's really well rounded, and just looks like as a leader, as everything, it looks like you're looking forward to your best year of junior hockey. It looks to me. So, congratulations on a great weekend, and looking forward to watching you the rest of the year. A couple of talking points here, folks. Friday, October 25th versus the Wilderness. Kids free on Friday. Kids 12 and under are free at the door with the purchase of an adult ticket. Skate with the Wings after the game. $15 Stutzman Harley-Davidson corporate area bar stool seats are available. Reserved tickets are on sale now. Call Aaron to get yours at 605-380-5852. Saturday, October 26th versus the Wilderness. Corporate sponsor is Dakota Broadcasting. Help the Wings bust out breast cancer with the 4th annual Brazier Bazaar. Decorate a bra to donate to the Brazier Bazaar and receive $2 off admission at the door. Bras will be auctioned off at Buffalo Wings and Rings on Thursday, November 7th. Kids Halloween candy toss after the game. Post-game party with the players at Buffalo Wings and Rings on Saturday night. That again, the 26th. All the latest news and information on the Wings, visit AberdeenWings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. The Wings have begun our Day with the Cup promotion. If you advertise with the Wings or have season tickets and you want your business to spend a day with the Cup, contact Aaron Smith at 380-5852 to schedule. Remaining reserved season tickets and corporate night sponsorships are still available. Call Aaron for that as well. Doors open for all Wings home games at 5:30, and the puck always drops at 7:15. $10 general admission tickets are on sale now at any of the 4 Sea Express locations in Aberdeen with additional purchase. Or upgrade to reserved by calling, you guessed it, Aaron Smith at 605-380-5852. Lots to talk about. Okay. Once again, Murph, I appreciate you coming on the show. Fantastic weekend, and looking forward to seeing what you guys can do against the Wilderness this coming week.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks, that'll pretty much wrap it up for this week's Wings Weekly.